afternoon, everybody. How's it going? I've just had to put the light on in here. I used to think it's quite nice and bright outside, but in here not so much. I thought, no, I want to be able to see what I'm doing. Yeah, it's been a crazy week, and it's only Wednesday, so I hope you're having a good one. And I hope you sat there and you're all relaxed, or you will be soon. You've got your tile ready. And we're all good to go, hey? How's this going to be then? Now, 17th of March. So it is it next week? It's going to be 12 months since we started doing these sessions. So that's something to celebrate. I'm really thinking about one for that. And of course, I think we should all be having cake. And look at this, 121. Oh my goodness, 121 tiles. And here we go, we're still going, absolutely. And I've had a really, really nice video message today. I sent some bits and pieces over to Philippines because there's a lady over there that was doing some sandtangling with some young children. And she sent a video. I have no idea what she said. I'm sure she said thank you, but it's just really made my day, that it's gone so far. And I can't explain how good it makes you feel. It, there's somebody out there that's that's enjoying it. Well, I know we are. I know we enjoy it, but the Philippines. Goodness me, what a long way. Anyway, okay, here we go then. So, I'm coming in with my dots, just as my regular. I've in the corner. And here we go. I'm just going to come on in and I'm going to join the lines. I'm going to keep it straight lines today, and purely because I'm going to do a grid. So those of you that, you look at these and think, oh my goodness, organic, I don't really want to do that. I want to do a grid. Today is your day. Here we go. Oh, it's St. Patrick's Day as well. Oh my goodness. I just, even yesterday, I don't even know what day it was. When are you on next? Well, honestly. Oh, Yvonne, brilliant. Do you know what? I actually did some of mine yesterday. So I've drawn it up. I've just got to do the shadows and things on it. So mine will be done then as well. Ready to... Oh, it's not ready to send, is it? I'm already here. Okay. Oh, goodness me. What am I doing? Okay, so we've got this sort of board. I'm still sticky with my pencil. And I'm just going to sort of give myself a little bit of an idea, maybe where the centre-ish is, because I say I'm doing a bit of a grid today. So there we go. So I've got a bit of the centre, so I know. All right. Third on, like Lindsay, you're doing pretty well then. Oh, I know, but John made it for me. It's a nice one, isn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of a grid in there, you see? So what I'm wanting to do is, I'm wanting to do myself 4 little boxes here. So if I just sort of do it by eye to go with, there we go. And see down there. So I've got I'm in the middle there and I've got 4 squares. You see that? So I think I'm going to come in with a pen now. Did you notice yesterday I was using the black and gold? They are lovely. To be honest, Leslie and I were talking about it earlier. They're exactly the same pens as the other microns, but they're just the emotional attachment. Oh, sorry, no, Glennie, honestly, no, it's not. I do have some on the shelves. I haven't put them on my website yet, but this is the one, it's sort of in the classroom, so I use it a lot. It's just really useful because it's got circles and squares on it, see. Plus, of course, if you want to sort of make sure it's straight edge, you can line it up. I just wanted something that would, give me my squares and circles in an instant. And so John drew me this up, and he's like, there you go. He's good like that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So far, so good. Oh, Joe, I hope your dog's better soon. Mine was absolutely giddy last night when I got home. It was lovely. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Okay, are we good then? We've got this going. Okay, so next job then, what I want to do is I'm just going to work on a square at a time. And I just want to sort of have a little bit of a mark You see, so I'm just marking the edges. So we've got those, okay. And then I'm just going to create a little, little diamond shape. Now you can come in with your straight edge and your ruler again, but because it's quite a small area to work with, I like to see what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, next one then. Oh, thank you. I keep meaning to tangle on my ruler. It's one of those that you've got space to do so. Well, I'll do a count up. I'll put my website. But not today. Today's going to be, yes, it's been a little bit crazy. And to be honest, because we've got some extended stock to do, we did look at our material this morning, and we've got an order coming in, and just to make sure that we can get all the extended out by the deadline, John's actually gone to fetch it today rather than relying on a courier to bring it. So he's out and about today. He's gone to Milton Keynes. So yeah, it's keeping him out of trouble. There you go. All right, so I've got this kind of shape going on. Very geometrical today. There we are. Oh, thank you, Sue. Appreciate that. You know, I put so much into those demos, but I did have so much fun. I really did. It's oh, look, Leslie's got time to message. You're too busy. Get on with it. All right. Okay, here we go then. So we've got this kind of shape going on. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to add a little bubble in there. There we go. And then working my way from the bubble. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, you know, you don't want to go from here to here. You're just going to end up with a bit of a straight line. We just want to work our way all the way around and then back in. And then I'm going to turn it all the way around and then back in. You see how you get that really nice curve? Oh, hi, Wendy. Oh, do you know, I meant to bring some sandpaper with me, because I know some of you asked about the tortillon. So if Leslie's listening, then if you've got some sandpaper, you can throw at me. That would be great. All right, I'll do the same with this one. Here we go. So again, work your way around that bubble and you get a nicer sort of curve on that line. There we go. Just sort of take some. All right, same again. Yeah, here we go. So around. You see I'm doing it the same way each time. Now if you want to do it the other way, that's absolutely fine. It's just being that I suppose I'm left-handed. It's easier for me to do it this way. There we go. And same with this one. There we go. And around. And long. There we go. Turning it round. And again. Oh, Mitch, I do. It's just something about it, isn't it? Creating like a curve from something quite geometric. It's really nice to sort of do this. So if I just enlarge that a little bit more, okay, don't worry about the pencil, you don't really need to worry about that. I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this section here and I'm going to aura this line here. So anybody thinking, what's she talking about? Auras, where we're just going to create the same sort of line. And we just, sometimes it's a draw around and it's just following the line. Just going to keep it going all the way through till I get to the end, okay? And then the same here. I'm going to move to this one and I'm going to repeat that movement there. I'm just going to work my way around. Just continue adding those sort of slightly curved lines. Oh, Kathy, what? No, sheep. Do you know, I will do a tile with a sheep on it. I will, just to please you. But, I'm not telling you when, but I will do one. I'll be careful what you wish for. All right. So you see, I've done the same sort of design or pattern in each one of those little squares that I've done. So let's just have a quick look at that. There we are. Okay. So now I'm going to turn my tile. I've turned it anti-clockwise, but again, it's entirely up to you. As long as whatever you do in this section here, you do it in this section here, and so forth. So if yours is a mirror image of mine, or if you've done your lines slightly differently, it's fine. Don't think it's wrong, because it's not. It's just about you, you're just having a bit of fun with it. Remember, mine's just a guide. So this is my tile. Yours is going to be a bit different. It always will be. Okay, same with this one. I must admit, it was quite nice to come home in the light last night. I was back home just in time for Benji to decide whether he wanted to fuss me or to have his tea, because John was putting his tea out and he was torn between the two. He was a little bit giddy. But again, he's about 18 months old now. I mean, Seth's 15, he was at the weekend, so he's like, yeah, whatever, Mum, she's back. But Benji was a bit crazy. It's lovely, really. It's nice to be loved, isn't it? All right. So you can see I'm just repeating this little aura pattern just along and in each of those little sections there. There we go. Same in this one. I say it's forming a really nice sort of illusion, isn't it? And of course, once we put a little bit of shading on there, it's going to be different again. Oh, so it should be fine, because if you sent it to the new address, then I've not, touch wood, not had problems with post there. I don't know why, and I shouldn't have problems here. I've gone to great lengths and lots of phone calls and emails, and I've even been to the sorting office to complain. But I don't want to risk it, having them all sent here. So that's why you've got the other address. Okay. So my postman who delivers my mail is going to be really happy bunny, isn't he? That's making him even happier. Send him lots of lots of happy mail, or I'll get lots of happy mail. There you go. All right. Oh, look, you see I missed one. How did that happen? Okay, let's have a look at this one. So I'm going to do the lines that way. That's okay. I didn't miss it on purpose. There's no sort of sublime message in there. There we go. That's it. I did not want it. Okay. So let's have a look in this section now. And I'm going to come on in and I'm going to create a little bit of a curve either side, like that. Okay. And then let's do the same here, look, a bit of a curve. I can get one in there, and I can get half a one in there. And then let's have a look this side, same thing. There's one, and there's a half one. Okay. So if I turn my tile, and again, let's put that curve in. Now, if you can only get one in, or you can only get a half a one, not to worry. Just, it's nice to sort of keep them a little symmetrical if you can, but if not, it's not a problem. Just put in what you can. I'm going to start with that centre one, that's the most important one. And then the rest of it, we're just dressing around it. So it's nice to have that little curve in there, isn't it? There we go. There we go. Next one. Into this one. Oh, do you know, it's nice to have the camera facing the tangle today. Don't want the camera facing me. No, I think I've got a few black rings under my eyes today. It's always the drive, you know. I know it's only a 2-hour drive, but it really it takes it out of you. It's one of those crazy things. Oh, it's that A1, isn't it? It's a straight road, you know, sort of continual, the same thing. You don't really know where you are. Okay. All right. So I've just been working on the corners here. So similar sort of thing. But you see, this time I'm actually only getting one of those little petals in there. Well, that's okay. Let's turn it again. Same sort of thing. So there's a little curved in the centre there, and then here we go. One there, and then one there. And of course, let's do this one at the top as well. Okay. And that one. And that one there. All right, it's looking quite okay at the minute. Let's see where we're heading. So, okay. Let's have a look at this then. So we're going to focus on each triangle as a separate entity. And I'm going to put in that centre curve just as before, just as we did with the end here. And then I'm going to add in one that side and one that side. So I'm still working within that triangle there. And then here we go. Same again. One there. One on this side and one on this side. Okay, so same again. I'm working in the triangle, so I'm not trying to create a full shape. I'm just working in one triangle at a time. Okay, and then in the next one and into there. Okay, and the next one. All right, so working on this then, it's a little bit, you know, there's quite a bit of white in there, and you can go in and you can fill it in with bubbles if you like, but I think today I'm gonna add a little bit of drama in there. So you can see I've just sort of worked in, I've come in with a thicker pen. Well, the nib's thicker, the pen isn't. So this is an 05, and it just means that when you're filling in those sections, it's not, you know, it's not going to put any unnecessary pressure onto your nib. It just means that, again, I can be a little bit quicker going around these sections. There we go. So it's crazy, you know, when you look at the tile, you don't see those little bits like there that you miss, but when you look in the camera, you're like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? But that's okay. I don't mind sharing. There we go. So just filling it. You see the difference that's made just filling that in. It's quite remarkable, isn't it? How it suddenly starts to give it that little bit of drama going on. There we go. And I'm going to do the same. I'm not going to worry about those bits really. It's just, I can come back and fill them if I need to. I'm going to do the same in here. So I'm just going to add in those sections. You see? There we are. Just a little bit at a time. And again, you could add a bubble in there if you want. You could have done more lines. Everybody's is going to be a little bit different. It depends on, I suppose, how wide your little petal or leaf shapes are, depending on then how much space you've got left to fill in there. So it's nice though. I mean, you could use a different colour if you like. You don't have to use the black. It would look good maybe in different colours, or you could do it later and see how it is. So absolutely. I'll just working it around. Oh, do you know, I had fun with the inking yesterday. Yeah, I know Chris mentioned it, that you'd all like to sort of see a few background techniques on your tiles, and I did sort of hint at a couple of techniques yesterday, so I think it might be nice, you know, if I look at creating a few, and then I'll let you know, and we'll do a bit of a video on how to do it. I mean, I'm not a particularly, I wouldn't say I was a messy crafter, so it's not that we're going to get loads of stuff out and make a mess. It's just, it's nice, I think, to see how other people decorate their tiles. And, you know, you can just get some really nice backgrounds. And I hope you saw yesterday, I mean, I did the tassel. And I actually did a card, but I drew the tassel onto a backing paper. So if you find a paper that's not too busy, but it's got some nice features to it, then by all means, you know, draw your design or tangle onto that, because that gives it a little bit of something different. And if you're not seriously confident and you think, I don't want to start with a blank piece, then that's a really nice way of doing it as well, because you've already got something on the paper to sort of go with. So I'll use that. You know, I'll do that at some point. There we go. So we've got, it's a mini tile at the minute, isn't it? I mean, we've still got all of this to have a go at. So let's go back to my sort of smaller pen. See, I'm working with an 01 today. Do you see the difference? Oh, I know Lisa, that tassel is. And it's in book 4, so you've got it. I'm sure you have. There you go, look at the difference. So yeah, it goes across 2 tiles because obviously you need the length, but they're just beautiful and they're really nice to draw. Okay, I can't even remember it must have been, was it tile 60? So there's a video on how to do it as well. So it's, you're not on your own if you're not sure. Okay, so I'm just bringing this straight edge in again. And I'm just creating an aura, you see, around that much. Oh, Lorraine, I know. They cut the time down from an hour to like 42 minutes because they said that the presenters were going to talk less. Now, it depends on which one you get. And I'm very aware that, you know, I don't get much time. So I'll do my best. Okay. So there we go. We've got this sort of border around the outside now. I'm just going to come in with a pencil and I'm just going to mark off the corners there. See, ever so lightly, because we're not necessarily going to need this in the end. It's just a guide. And then the same here, look. Okay. All right. And then in the centre here, look, I'm just going to fill that one there and that one there. And then here, same again, look, one there and one there. So I've got this sort of square grid around, and I'm sure you can sort of guess what's coming, really. It's I'm going to mark, again, just in a pencil, just mark those centre points, because I want to do a few more of those little diamond shapes. There we go. See, now I'm just going to work my way down. And of course, you know, we do it in pencil, it just means that it'll fade away with everything else afterwards. So, just so we've got a bit of an idea. Okay. Oh, Sue, I don't know what happened there. My goodness. Interesting, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I've tried it with rock salt as well. And I don't know. Depends what, I mean, I don't really know how to answer that. Of course, it depends on what pens you've used, I suppose. But if it's water-based, it should be maybe you're going to get a different texture though, aren't you? A different surface. It'll look amazing, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know, Janet. And there's nothing at all I can do about it. It's, you know, it's what they do, and I know they take the time. It's a good job then we have these live sessions, isn't it? At least you get your fixing. And I don't, I mean, I show you new products that I've got, but I don't advertise them, and it's not about showing you that. This is all about you having you and me really, having an hour, having a break and just tangling. Doesn't matter what you use or what you're working with. It's not the point. Joe, Yes, I have used the Cosmic Shimmer sprays. The ones I used yesterday were the pixie powders. I find sometimes with the spray, they can clog up, and then when it's your spray bottle stops working, it's really frustrating because you can't get anything else out of it. But yeah, that would work. The only thing I would say, if you're using something that sort of sits on the surface and it's got that mica in it, then you need to tangle first. So if you're not sure, check, because sometimes some pigments can clog your pen up, and I know that happens with the pixie powders. So I would be more inclined to use my micron pen and draw the design first, then use the pixie powders. But gel pens are fine, they'll go straight over it. It's just, it's just trial and error. So see how you go with it. Okay. Whew. Right, so let's have a look at where this is. All right, so a little bit more tangling to do here. The grid one's a little bit trickier than the others, but what I'm going to do then, I'm going to bring that little bubble in on each one of those areas. Okay. Now, I don't need to panic with this, thinking, oh my goodness, it's going to take ages, because this is going to be slightly different than the centre. It's all about taking the centre as inspiration. So we're not going to put all the lines in the same place. Oh, Glenys, I know he is so passionate about it. It's lovely. And of course, when he did the design and he's raised some money for the NHS and stuff, it's absolutely brilliant. It's nice when the presenter gets it, And I'm sure that when we can all sort of get back together a little bit more, he'll be sitting there at the table having a go. I'm sure he will. There we are. So you see, I'm starting in the same way that I started in the centre, just by adding that lovely curve in. I'm not moving my tile so much because I don't want it to sort of make you sort of look up and think, what's she doing, and turning it too much. But by all means, you turn yours if it's easier to do. So this is just about making it easier for you to see. There we go. All right. No, Jackie. I understand. I know it'd be nice to have just demos, but I suppose he's got to earn his money too. It's funny. But yeah, some talk more than others, don't they? But it's nice when they get it and they're talking about something and making sense, Well, most of the time anyway. Oh, dear me. There we are. Okay. So just keep it going. Following on one, then the next. Just work on one of the shapes at a time. Move on. Right. And working it on. There we go. Just taking my time. Yes, Buffy, I think it depends on who's doing it. I mean, I look at the camera sometimes and I think, is it clear enough? Can you see it? This is why when I did the tassel yesterday, I used a larger pen. Yeah, Brusho's brilliant, Kathy, because they are water-based, so you'd be fine with them. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to aura around the outside of this shape. See, there we go. Around that one. And then where we've got these lovely little triangles, do you know what, actually with the overhead camera, I'm going to ask that next time just to see if they can get any closer, because that would be really good, won't it? I mean, just like this one, I mean, this is really, and I'm sure they can, but I'm not sure. I'll have to ask and see what they say. Okay. You see, just nice and gentle. 16, that would work as well, yeah. There's lots of different techniques. It's just about getting something in the background, isn't it? Sometimes just to take away that plain pattern. But, you know, just having this is nice. Certainly once we shade this, it's going to take on a different feel completely. A minute, it's sort of very white. And of course, because it's a grid, you're not quite sure where the shading maybe is going to go or what we're going to do with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do with these little sections now, I'm going to start in that centre there. Let's put a line in. And then I'm just going to fill it with lines all the way down that side, then all the way down this. Now, of course, you can do it whichever way suits you. If you want to do wavy lines, if you want to do them wider, that's fine. Let's just have a look at this corner section here. So I'm still going to put that line in, and I'm going to create a straight line following that triangle there. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to turn my tile and I'm going to put the line in here. I'm going to leave this bit for just for a little while. Come back to it in a little bit. There you go. I'm just going to fill in those lines. Okay. I know some people prefer grids, so I do try and mix it up so you get bits of everything. But of course, if you just think, oh, I'd rather do the organic than having a grid, it just changes things up a little bit, and it's worth having a go just to keep your practice in, because if not, you end up all your tiles looking the same. You want a little bit of diversity, don't you? Here we go. Turning it round, so same again there. See, I'm leaving that little bit in the corner there. Come back to that in a bit. Of course, the wider your lines, the more open that particular design will be. I quite like them. If you're going to do them, I like them quite close. Or you could do really close, getting wider, or really wide, getting closer. It just gives it a different illusion. So, see how you feel about it. Oh, Glenisip wood, yeah. Those navy tiles are just beautiful. And it's, you know, it's a little, I mean, I love working on black, but the navy just sort of warms it up a little bit. And they're pretty amazing. Of course, I've never tried a red tile, one of the darker red, because Leslie won't let me have any. Because she's
all mine.
You see what I mean? She thinks they're all hers. And she's hidden them. I know. She does like the red. There we go. All right, just working my way around. Oh, you've not seen them yet? Oh, no, they are beautiful. I mean, it's navy's navy, isn't it? It's just so classy. And the red is like cherry red, that kind of thing. It's not as bright as the red in the brights. It's a darker red. It's more, how can I say, it's more red. It makes the red in the brights look a little tad orange. There we go. Let's have a look at where we're at. Oh, Chris, we're not going to have a fight on our hands on who gets the red tiles. All right, so I'm just going to turn it this way, and now I'm going to fill in and put some lines going in this direction. There we go. All right, and same this way. Okay, just from one side to the next. There we go. Turning it round and to the next. Mind you, I know we're talking about the navy and the reds. There are some new colours coming. Oh, Sheila, it's just divine. It's a nice red, it really is. But yeah, there are some new colours coming. Because obviously with spring, summer coming, we've got to have something a little bit more pastel. And I know some of you have been asking about pastel colours. So, yes. Okay. So looking at this triangle here then, again, I'm just going to do that little aura. You see, just putting a line there and then a line there. So it separates the two. Same across here. And I'm not going to join this because I can come back in and do that with my straight edge when I've done all of these. So there we go. Doing those ones first. And then up into this one. And this one. Okay. And that one there. And then the same here. Yeah, oh, Viv there. Yeah, they're here and we've got, oh, they're lovely. Yeah, they're coming, I think they'll be ready, they're ready at the end of the month. So, yeah, not long to wait for them. You did actually see a little hint of it, not the tiles, but the actual new sketch pad. Yesterday, I'm trying to think now who held it up. Was it Dan? Held up a design where there were squares on a blue background in a sketch pad. That was actually my new pastel sketch pad. Yeah, Lorraine, 26th. Yeah, so of course. And in that, on that particular image, it wasn't just the square concept stencils, it was the new stencil for the 26th as well. So, I mean, to be fair now, if you didn't video it, you'll not see it now, so I can say that because, oh, I've got to think back. Okay, you see, look, I'm just gonna draw in those lines now. Just using that straight edge, just as before. Okay. Oh, Richard. But, you know, perhaps he needs to be introduced to it. You know? Did you see a sunflower? Oh, Glynis, you were watching. So that's the thing sometimes, if you look closely enough. Yeah, okay. So in this one then, there's a couple of things you can do. So you don't actually have to look and do exactly the same as me. You could actually repeat this and you could do lines again if you want to. Or you could come in and you could create this design again. So I think what I'm going to do a mixture. So I'm going to add in this one in the centre. I'm going to turn it and do the same here. So this, again, the centre one. So same as before, same as the centre. You see what I'm working with there? Now if I actually just bring that in, oh, if I can, a little bit, you see, there you go, I'm working in middle bits. Same again here, look. So there's a little curve in there. Now if you want to do this design across all of them, that's fine, you can do so. So I'm just going to mix it up a little bit, I think. It's nice to have a particular design and then you can play about with it. There we go. Alright. See, nice, I've got that. I think I'm actually going to come and bring it in these corners too. Just, you know, the three there. Okay. Same with this one. Into there. Okay. Turning it round. Same with this. It's looking really nice, isn't it, this? So I know we don't do a massive amount of grid ones. We do use grids as structures, but we don't always keep it as a grid. And then of course in this one here, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to do those lines again. Let's say if you want to do that leaf type petal shape in there, you go ahead, you can do that, it's fine. It's your tile, so you can do whatever you like with it. Alright. Okay. So again, following the shape, just taking that in there, and then lines this side. There we go. Same again. Okay, just working that round that section there. add that section there. Okay. Same with this one. You see how it just changes it, doesn't it? Putting those lines in. Just one to the next. Okay. And this one. Oh, thank you, by the way, for everyone that sent pictures in yesterday. I know it's frustrating at times because they don't show them all, but it's always down to the producer. But you know what? I absolutely love seeing them, and it's really nice to sort of get yours shown, isn't it? So thank you. They were lovely. The designs that you were showing were brilliant. I know I've seen some of them on my Facebook page, but please don't let that put you off. Send them in. And, even if, I know sometimes they say at the beginning, do it at the beginning of the show. Oh, Catherine, the bus is no longer. Yeah, it's going to cost so much to get it through its MOT. It's going to die a death, I'm afraid. It was a nice idea, but the fact that it's not been run because we've not been doing shows, it's taking its toll on the old bus. So, no. All right, let's have a look at where we're at then. Ooh, okay. So, coming back in now with my thicker pen, and I'm going to do the same as before, and where I've got these extra little spaces, I'm just going to fill it with the ink. And of course, if you want to use a different colour, or if you want to put some bubbles in there, it's absolutely fine. It's just, it's easier to fill with a slightly wider nibbed pen than it is using the two. Okay. And to the next bit. Here we are. Okay. So just filling it in. There's something about, isn't it? Adding a black, sort of a block of black. It makes a difference. Just shows a little bit of definition in there. It's really nice. There we are. And next to the section here, just working my way around it. There we go. Okay, a little bit in this corner here. It's just, don't worry about it too much. It's just, there you go. We can shape it if we need to. All right, into the next bit. See, almost there. This would have taken twice as long using my smaller nib. But, it's quite nice. And now it's just following it through, just filling those spaces. There we go. Almost there. It's this one. There we go. Okay, I'll shape that a little bit. If I've missed any little bits, I can always go back and fill it later. It's no big deal. Oh, Sally, you've got a cherry red tile. You are special. Just don't let Leslie know your address. She'll be round. Okay, so into the next bit then. I'm going to come in now with my pencil, and I'm going to start in the centre. I'm going to do all the pencil, then I'm going to come in with the tortillon and do all the tortillon. So we can sort of see it magically come to life. So of course, we're going to have some there in the centre. Okay, that's our first little port of call. And then I'm going to add some on the edges of each of those little sort of petals too. So don't think you've got to colour in, you just put some on the edges. You see, just a little bit of graphite there, okay? So then of course, same with these ones here. So there we go. Now if you're going to use a little bit of colour, by all means, add a little bit of colour to it. And if you're doing pastels, you'd be working in exactly the same way. You'd just be adding some pastel to the top and bottoms there. But if you're using pencils, remember, you're the one really that's got to blend it out, whether you use watercolour or regular pencils. I know I have showed you how to go about with the watercolour before, so there are videos with tiles showing how that's been done, but I'm sure you know what you're doing. So you'll be fine whichever way you work it. Okay, so here we go. That's all those sections. So now this one here, I'm going to add some to this side and to this side. Okay, so same here, this side and this side. So if you imagine I'm going around the outside edge, and then I'm going to one side of those original lines that I drew. Okay, same about here. So if you want to, you can go all the way around the outside first. There we go. And then, you see I'm pressing on a little bit as well with this. I want a little bit of graphite on there. Okay. Same with this one. Okay. And then a little bit to one side of each of those lines. Same here. And on those lines. Okay. I might actually come back in with a white pastel pencil in there just in a short while, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. So okay, we're now onto these triangles. So what I'm going to do is add in some graphite just around the edges and even that edge there. You see? The same here. There we go. Same on this one. I'm even going to go over there actually. So I'm going to end up with a bit of an edge around that original square that I drew, you see? Okay. And to this one. So actually maybe you want to do all that first and then come on in and add your little pencil around your triangular shapes. Same again. Let's just go all the way down there. Filling in either side that shape again. There we go. Not worrying too much about keeping it seriously neat. I'm just working within those shapes that I've got. And then of course these shapes. Now instead of doing all the way around the outside, this time I'm just going to come in and add some pencil to either side of that line. There we go. Just changes it up a little. I mean, if you want to do the same and do around the outside as well, that's absolutely fine. I'm just giving you, an alternative that you can work to. There you go. See? So just turning it round, and I'm going to sort of do the same here, look. So pencil on each one of those lines. I'm just working my way round. Same easy. You notice I'm not perhaps pressing on as hard this time because I don't have to go through all that, the pen I suppose. It's just on a plain sort of background, isn't it, so to speak. So just doing a little bit. There we are. Okay. Last side. There we go. Same on this one. Okay, so now while I'm here, I'm going to do all the way down this outside edge. And then I'm going to come back in and add some either side of those triangles. And then of course in this one, I'm going to just do the same sort of shading as I did at the bottom. Or in the middle rather. There we go. See there, it's quite small, so I'm just going to do that bottom edge. So same again here, look, all the way down. And then into here, just as before. And of course on this one we've got the space, so we can do a little bit of those. And then here I'm just going to do that bottom edge. Same again. Working my way down. And then in we go for this one and this one. And then just on those edges. And a little bit there. Okay, last one. Oh my goodness me, a lot of shading today, isn't there? But this is what happens when you're working on a grid. It sort of changes things a little bit. And it's quite systematic, which is why I like to do this first and then the tortillon. All right, here we go then. So this is how it looks at the minute. Okay, so quick cup of tea. And here we go. I've got my tortillon here. All right, so it's a little bit, well, it's not as sharp as it once was, put it that way. And I've got a nail file, very kindly provided by Leslie. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of work it from here to here. See, I'm pulling it out. Okay. So if I keep sort of turning the tortillon whilst sort of flicking that file from here to here, you see? And then what you might find is at the top end, you'll get a little bit of a little bit of a fluffy, I can't quite do it without it, you know, just sort of come on in and just clean it off. Now you could, if you think, oh no, I'll get anywhere, could come in with a pair of scissors and you could just trim it. But, you know, using the file, you can see now it's got quite a nice, I mean, it's, yeah, quite a nice part. I could keep going and you could sort of keep turning, you know, keep working it round just to get a bit more of a point, but that's absolutely fine for what it is that we're going to be doing, okay? So that helps with the tortillon, or I hope it does anyway. Okay, so here we go with my nice, clean, sharp tortillon. I'm going to come on in now and I'm just going to very gently push out that pencil in the centre. You see? Not too far out, just a little. And then on the edges, I'm just going to flick in slightly. Now the idea is I want to leave a little bit of that white space in the middle. Okay, I mean if you're using a coloured tile, you could come in and add the white after, but it's nice to leave it if you can. Okay? And then I'm going to do the same with the other sort of flower petal kind of shapes. Alright, so I'm doing those first. There we are, just sort of one to the other, just pushing it down. You see, and leaving that white highlight in there. Yeah, let's do the same with that. It's just about leaving that little gap. There we go. Okay, same on this one. Just taking my time. This is the best bit, isn't it? I know we create it, and this is where it actually starts to really come to life. And just working bits as we go. There we go. So kind of sort of it starts to have a little bit of dimension now. So let's have a work on these bits here. So again, I'm just going to work very, very slight sort of, you see, sometimes a little sort of smooth action. And again, I want that little highlight there. I'm just going to, ever so gentle. Just work on one and then the next. And again, just keeping that white highlight in the middle. Of course, if you want to turn your tile as you're doing this, go ahead. Just makes life a little bit easier for you. There we are. Oh, look at that, aren't they lovely? Look at the difference. It's just making a little bit of shading go a long way, doesn't it? There we go, just so gently. So it's nice to know that John's safely back with our materials. We can keep the machines running. We can hear the coffee machine going, that's how I know he's back. Oh, Julia, it is, isn't it? Lovely little, you think it's just a bit of paper, and what it actually does, it's remarkable. Whoever designed the tortillon. Can't imagine him being named Mr. or Mrs. Tortillon, can you? But we thank them for it because they're lovely. We couldn't do this without. Okay, there's something really quite nice about using a little bit of paper to create something special, isn't it? That's lovely. Look at that. The difference. Okay, so we're going to, I'm not going to do this piece yet. I'm just going to work on the extra sections around to start with, okay? So there you go, my triangles. Just going to try and get it to the edge there. Same here. And these ones, okay? Oh, have I? Oh, I'll come back and I'll do it in a minute when I get back round there. I can do it, see here, look, while I'm at it. There you are. Thank you. It has stood, well, I'm sure it did. It stood out like a sore thumb, didn't it? There we are. And to these ones. Okay. There we are. Oh, just keep turning it. See, almost done that bit. So now I can come in and I'm just going to go along the whole line. See? Just the whole line. Oh, same again. And again. Oh, Judith, no, I wasn't using felt tip pens on it because be careful with them because they might bleed with it being fabric. And I used pencils, but I did use my Micron Sakura pen for drawing the design. But have fun with it. It's really nice actually to draw on fabric. It's very different. So just be gentle when you're drawing it, because you don't want to spoil your nib on your pen. So just lightly go over it, you know, and then go in with pencils. That'd be your best idea. But if you want to use pen, try it on the inside first, on perhaps one of the seams, just to see how it's going to work. But I suspect they're going to bleed a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so you can see, look, I'm just working my way around each one of these, and I've only got that one side this time. Again, it just sort of changes things a little. And it helps with a little bit of highlight in there. Okay? Alright. So, same again. Into that section there. Okay, just take it easy. I know it gets quite exciting doing these bits and you want to see it, but don't rush it. Alright, let it just appear. Okay. Alright, last one in this corner anyway. I'm going to turn the tile again. There you go. Onto that one. Okay. Same again. So I'm just softening the edges there. And there. Of course, just systematically working my way around each one. There we go. Just something really satisfying, isn't there, about moving a little bit of pencil around. And this lovely three-dimensional effect it gives. So there's no need to push on it, there's no need to do too much pressure. Just take your time with it. And each little movement just makes it a little bit different, doesn't it? Just takes it to the next little bit on its journey. There we go. So again, just working now on little petal shapes. And then while I'm here, I'm going to do this edge. Okay, just sort of moving it out a bit. There we go. Turning it round. So, oh, actually, I think before I do, let's just do the triangles there as well. There we go. All same on the side. That's it. And then the next one here is putting those triangles in. There we go. plenty of pencil on there to sort of do that. I didn't put any graphite on. Onto your little flowers. And let's just working out into this. There we go. Oh, this is a good idea. Yeah, I know a lot of you do. You like your grids, and they are really great to sort of use. And the more you do them, the more you get used to drawing the grids themselves. But yeah, grid paper would work pretty good. Okay, last one. There we go. Okay. And of course, getting those triangles in. And then just that final little bit. So we're almost there. I'm just going to go back to my pen. Okay. And oh, not the, no, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use the thinner one. Yeah, ain't all the best, Chris, yeah. Think of you. There we go. I'm just going to add in that line again, just redefining that edge. So of course this is the bit that we want to stand out and we want to define most, which is why we've got the most black in there, I would say. It's all about just making it that little bit more prominent. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to come on in, you know, where we did this first lines, and I'm not going all the way to the edge. Just bring them out a little, you see, about 3/4 of the way, just working my way back, just to redefine, see, just puts that line back in, so it puts the graphite where we want it, and it just gives me that edge again in the right place. So I'm going to just bring in a white chalky pencil. Alright, just in this section here. Now I'm just going to add in a bit of a white highlight there, you see. Now you can't really do this with a regular pencil. It's got to be sort of more chalky pastel-y, because it doesn't quite cut through everything. You could try a white gel pen. It's going to be very prominent, whereas this is a little more subtle, just to give it that edge. There we go. You see, I'm not sort of doing too much shaking. It's just back and forth a few times, and then of course, if you want to, you can come on in and just add that highlight. You won't see it massively because it's white on white almost, but it's just going to define those little bits. Of course, a rubber would do the same. You could just rub some of that graphite out. It just gives it a little bit of difference, doesn't it? See, same up here, there's a bit there. There you go. So I'm not going to do any more definition on the outside of the tile, although actually saying that, if I have a look at these bits here, decisions to make. Yes, I am. I'm going to do it. I'm going to come in and do this aura again. Remember this aura we did earlier? Yeah, I think it wants that there. There we go. Sometimes, you know, you have to look at it before you can make a decision, and you think, oh, I'm not going to do it. But then when you do see what you've done, you think, do you know what, yeah, it does just need that. I don't always like to do all of it, so I see, look at the difference that it's made, because otherwise we end up just going back over all the lines again, and I don't want to do that. I just want to sort of add a little bit of definition in places. There we go. Did I do that one? Yeah, I did that one. Okay. And again, I'm just going to sort of, there you go around a few of them, just to sort of make sure that that little bubble's in place. There we go. I'm working my way just around those bubbles. Okay. All right, so with that in mind, this is what we were after. We were after this real main sort of area in the centre, sort of standing out and looking a little bit more defined than everything else. See, I don't think it'll hurt having an extra bit of pencil around there as well. I'm not going to use a tortillon to sort of shade this out. I'm going to leave it as it is. There we go. That's better. There we go. And then of course you've got this sort of underlying section here, and then these come out and it sort of works its way around. This would make a lovely sort of border design, but it's really nice, worth having a go. Of course, don't forget, you need to sign it. So just your initials on the front, because we've already put our full name on the back. And that is, oh my goodness, 121 tiles we've now done. And every single one is different, all various. And, you know, some of them you love, some of you don't love so much. Some of them, you know, we have to go back and have a go. But absolutely brilliant. I hope you like it. And yeah, I think, put some colour in it, go for it. And let me see what you've been doing and how you get on with it. It's, I'm really pleased with that one. So, okay, I better finish my tea and get back to doing some packing. So now if anybody's bought anything from my website over the last couple of days, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. You'll probably find that it'll go tomorrow rather than today, because of course John's only just got back from Milton Keynes fetching some bits and pieces for us, so it'd be unfair to ask him to go to the post office now. So he'll do it tomorrow, so expect that either over the weekend or Monday. We'll see how that goes. So thank you ever so much, everybody, and I will see you on, what day is it, Wednesday? Yeah, I will see you Friday for tile 122 if you were around. So all right, you take care, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Have a good one. Okay, bye.